It's funny that they both came through in the same week, so I will never financially recover from this. But the Nine Inch Nails Peel It Back tour. Obviously, so Nine Inch Nails, they're one of those bands that their show is so good live. I can't say go listen to their music because that doesn't really do the live show justice. And like of the top five concerts I've been to in my life, I think Nine Inch Nails is like four of the five. This is my seventh time seeing them, and this still hasn't outdone like my favorite performance of them, but it was pretty up there. And I wasn't sure how I'd feel because I did watch a lot of videos of them when they were on tour in Europe, and just kind of seeing the production, being like, yeah, okay, it's cool. It's not quite as neat as some of the other shows I've did, but being there and seeing it in person was actually like, it's just a different experience. And all I can say is if you have the chance, honestly, like the first time I saw Nine Inch Nails was 2008. They were on their Lights in the Sky tour. They were actually playing as a part of the Virgin Mobile Festival, which was like one of the few local festivals Maryland had, like music festivals, that was primarily geared towards music. You know, they do a lot of things that have music, but like we don't really get, like, I don't think we've done really any festivals in Baltimore in a long time. But you know, they did Virgin Mobile Festival, and I remember like that was 2008. I just got out of high school. I went to a ton of concerts that year. Like I was just buying tickets left and right. And you know, that was really that festival. I really just cared about. Foo Fighters were playing one night, who I'd seen earlier that year, but they were just so good I couldn't wait to see them again. And then the next night, Stone Temple Pilots were playing, and they had just reunited. And so I was waiting by the stage, and so there was a bunch of bands that played on the stage that day. Actually, I think that day I saw Black Rebel Motorcycle Club for the first time. They were really cool. But it was later in the day, so it was Paramore was playing. And then right after Paramore was Iggy and the Stooges, so Iggy Pop. And so when Paramore was done, everyone just left. And so I literally walked all the way up to the railing and got like right on the front railing for, because I really wanted to see Stone Temple Pilots. And I wasn't sure, there was only one other act on the other stage that I wanted to see that day, and that was Bob Dylan. And it's not really even because I'm like a huge Dylan fan. It was just because, you know, he's such a legacy act that, you know, it would have been cool to get to see him. But I was more of a Stone Temple Pilots fan. So I was like, you know what, I got up front there, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stick it out. So I watched Iggy and the Stooges, and I know Iggy Pop is also kind of a legend in his realm, but it wasn't quite for me. It was a little weird, you know. He was shirtless, he was jumping around, but I recognize that that's his thing, and they sounded all right and everything, but I just understand how it may have put a lot of people off. But you know, right after him was Stone Temple Pilots, and they came out, they played for like an hour, they just burned through a bunch of hits, and they sounded phenomenal. So it was coming down to the end of the night, and I know Nine Inch Nails are coming up. I knew a couple of their songs, and the only other option I had was Kanye West on the other stage, and I was just like, I'm good with that. So I figured I'd stick around, watch a few songs, see what happened. And they came out, and they just blew my freaking mind. You know, the Lights in the Sky tour is one of the most insane productions I've ever seen in my entire life. And like not being prepared for it and just witnessing it in the moment, I just left speechless. Like I felt high. It was so good. And that's a really tough show to top. Like that's my number one show of all time. And they have like live videos, like professional live videos of that tour online. I recommend you go check it out. I recommend looking up Another Version of the Truth, which is like a fan edited live concert, which is, I know it sounds like, oh man, fan edit, but Nine Inch Nails put out the high quality video, and the high quality audio and the fan, and basically left it to the fans to edit this concert. And a bunch of Nine Inch Nails fans, the Nine Inch Nails community, came together to professionally edit and you know edit all the footage and make like the best version of this concert that they could put together. And I highly recommend it. So another version of The Truth, the Lights in the Sky tour. So then I saw them. So I saw them then I saw them the next year, 2009, I think. They were doing their farewell tour, which was like, they were going to take a break for a while. And oddly enough, Jane's Addiction was getting back together. So they were on tour with Jane's Addiction, and that was a really cool show. And then they went on break for a while. And then 2013, they came back. I think I saw them in 2013. I think they came back in 2012, late 2012, and then 2013 I saw them on the Tension tour, which was pretty up there. They really brought the production for that one too, which was really cool. And they were touring with like a bigger band, and that was a really cool show. But like it kind of felt like a really unique showcase of the band. It wasn't strictly like the Nine Inch Nails I think I was used to seeing. But then they came back, I think the next year with Soundgarden, and played at Jiffy Lube Live, and that was a really cool show. It was one of the last shows that was the last show I got to see with Chris Cornell. But that was also really cool. They were doing like a different version of that tour, a different production, but they were really good. And then the next time I saw them was a couple years later. They went back on tour because they had released a few albums. This was maybe 2018, I think, maybe 2019. They did 2 shows at the Anthem. I think I bought tickets. I think I bought tickets to see them like a few months in advance, and then when I saw how they were mixing up the set list, I immediately bought a ticket for the next night. And both of those were such insane shows because I think across 2 nights they played like 38 different songs. So they really mixed up the sets between those 2 shows, and they were also just sounded incredible. And then I didn't catch them on their last run of shows, like in 2022, I think, something like that. They did a quick run of shows. Wasn't able to make it, but they were going out on this tour, and it was, I was, I knew I wanted to go see them, but I wasn't like, I wasn't expecting like them to do the level of production that they were doing before. But I got to say that what they delivered was really cool and sick, and had like a whole still hits like a truck, every time you hear it. And yeah, the production was great. Their set list's been pretty straightforward this tour. They do a really cool DJ set in the middle of the show where they play a couple songs remixed. They did a really cool, like, it's, pretty close to the original, but like a remix version of Closer that just felt so freaking powerful, and really just blew me away. I took my sister and a friend, an old friend. I was supposed to go with someone else, and they bailed last minute, but I brought a friend who wasn't really didn't really know much about them, and he said he really enjoyed the show. So really just an incredible experience. So if you see this and you have the chance to go, I recommend trying to get to one of those shows. So yeah, that was Nine Inch Nails. Let me just look at the set list here real quick, see if there's any other things that pop out at me. They played a pretty standard set list. They played the new song from the new Tron movie. It was pretty sick. They played Every Day Is Exactly the Same, which is a song I haven't think I've ever heard them play before, off of With Teeth. But yeah, great concert, man. I'll always remember that.